Hey there, my name is Rahul, and in this video, I am going to show you how to create a powerful Hulu clone 2.0 using some of the latest technology with the latest tech trends. We are going to be using React as a front end, Vite as a build tool, Tailwind Css for our styling, and TMDB open source API to get list of movies. And to the top of it, we are going to learn how to deploy all our application on Vercel. If that was not enough, we will also be using TypeScript to make entire website fully responsive across all devices. If you are ready to learn some new skill, then let's get started. Alright. So I just want to show you a quick overview of the functionality which we have in the application. So in this application, we did the cloning of the Hulu, okay, and we gave the name Hulu 2.0. If you see on the header, we will see this beautiful menu, and on top, on hover on the each of the menu, we will get this beautiful background effects. Okay, then we have search buttons. So I will tell you how to use the React icons, which is official React icon library. Then if you come here, you will see the how to use Tailwind CSS to give this beautiful gradient effect and write the text on the image. Also, we have this beautiful slider, movies list slider. Okay, so I will tell you how to do show it horizontally. Even though you are new, that's fine. We will learn everything from the scratch. Also, if you see, if hover on any of this list, you will get this beautiful animations, the border and layout get changed. Okay. Also, if you want to slide this list, right, we have this beautiful button where you can slide to left or slide to the right. Okay, so depends on the what list you are want to move the right or left, depends on that it will work. Also, this side is fully responsive. If I decrease the screen size, it will adopt and it will change the layout automatically. So if you see now, if it look like in mobile view, and you can completely check how it looks, right, the menu get changed and the layout of the application also get changed little bit. So this is fully responsive and it will work on any devices. It doesn't matter the screen size and everything. So watch this full video and we will learn everything from the basic. Even though if you are new to the React, don't worry, I will teach you everything. So before doing any further delay, let's begin. And if you did not subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel. So let's go to the desired folder and open command prompt by typing the cmd. Then in order to create the Vite application for the React, just type npm create Vite at latest and enter it. So it will ask the project name. So in this case, we will give Hulu clone. Okay, and enter. Then it will ask the framework which you want to use. So for us, we are using the React. Okay, and which language do you want to use this for this one? Okay, so we'll use JavaScript. So even though if you use TypeScript, right, there is not so much different, so either one you can use it. Okay, so let's use the TypeScript and done. If you go with the React, creating the React app using the command create React app, it will take a long time to add all the dependency and everything. But in this case, it's quite easy and quite fast. Then go to your project folder by typing command in command like cd and Hulu clone and enter. So now you are in the project. Just type npm install, it will install a dependency. But even though it's installing dependency, right, it's quite fast than the creating the React app and installing the all the React packages. So that's the reason build tool is quite fast and quite useful. And now if you see the all the packages are installed. Now in order to go to the VS Code, just type code space dot and it will open the project in the VS Code. and if you see, we are in a project. On the left hand side you will see all the files and folder. It's a similar structure that we are creating from the using the create react app. Only thing that if you see, right, it's a TypeScript, that's why it's coming as a tsx, okay, TypeScript XML. And otherwise everything is similar. One more, they added that vite.config.ts file where they added the react plugin. If you see plugin, and they added the react. And yeah, so let's start creating the folder structure. Now before creating the folder structure, we will install the Tailwind CSS. So go to the just type React Tailwind CSS, or you can just type Vite Tailwind CSS because we are using the Vite. It's not much more difference, but let's go with the Vite because we are using Vite. So first step to create a project, we already done with this, right? Then execute this line of command. So copy it and go to your project folder. Go to the terminal and say new terminal. Here you can just paste it, and that's all. Okay, next go back and copy this second command. So once you execute this second command, right, it will add these two files, tailwind config.js and post css config.js. Once that file is get added, you have to copy this all line of code and you have to paste it in tailwind.config.js, which is our step number 3. Oh sorry, not here. So if you go to the tailwind.config.js, here remove the existing code, paste the new code, and then we have to add these three kind of import kind of statement in index.css. So go to the index.css, and here I will add it in the top and save it. After that we have to run the project. Just in order to make sure that Tailwind is integrated, I will use this sample line of code in app.txx file, and here I will add it like this. Okay, and just run the project. So to run the Vite-React project, you just need to type npm run dev, and within a couple of seconds it will run the project. If you see, right, just open this URL, which is 127.0.0.1 and our port number. Okay, and if you see, it's running, right, and this is the code which we added in order to check whether TMDB is working or not. Okay, so if you see this code, it just saying class name, is giving the class name and text type of 3xl, and if you hover on it you will see this font size, okay, which is similar to 30 pixel, and line height which is similar to 36 pixel, and in Tailwind CSS it just text dash 3xl, that's all. Same with the font bold, okay, and underline. So that's why we are using the Tailwind CSS in order to write the inline styling. Also, if you see, if you know about the HTML and CSS, right, we use the class in order to apply the class, but in this case class is the um, secured variable we can see in React, and that's the reason we can't use the class as a word. That's the reason we added this class name. Okay, so class name we are using. Then right now we will remove all of this code, we don't want it. Also I will remove this class name app, which is already present in a app.css file. Okay, so we are not using this one for now. And if you go to index.css, there are some style sheet which apply for the root, right? So you can change it from here if you want, right? The background color, whatever you want, you can add it. In the body section it mention the width and height, right? I will remove everything because I don't want anything style for our application for now at this moment. And otherwise everything okay. If there is some changes, then I will let you know. Yeah, in app.css remove this text line center as well. We don't want it. Okay, And now next we will create the file structure. If you go to the website, you will see this header section, and then we have this big intro image, and then uh, we have this movie list in a different category. Okay, so let's scroll up, and for this header, right, we will create a separate component, and on the left hand side we have the logo, on the middle we have the menu, and on the right hand side we have search and this user image or icon. Okay, so let's start creating the file and folder for this component and the screen. So let's go back to our applications. Here you will see this source folder, right? Inside the source folder, let's create another folder called screen. Okay, and inside screen I will create a one folder called home page. Okay, so home.js, that's all. JS, sorry, tsx. So we are using TypeScript or tsx. Okay, so here if you let's install one extension. I already installed, but for you just search VS Code extension called ES7 plus React Native snippet. So this will help you to make the default template. Okay, you don't need to write template every time. Just type rfce and enter it, you will get this template, right? They have a lot of different default template, you just explore it, but for now just type rfc after installing this extension, and it will write extension for you, as simple as that, right? So I created this home page as our home screen, and let's create another folder in the source folder. So I will create the components dot tsx. Okay, or not tsx, so it's a folder actually. So inside that folder, let's create a file called header.txx. Okay, so this is a header file. Just type rfc and it will give the header. Now important thing is depends on how you want to structureize, right? It's better to structureize with the folder and files. So right now I will put all my components in the header and all my screen in the home.js, or you can create a subfolder for the each screen's component and you can put it. Okay, it's up to you. So right now I able to create all these two files for now. Now go to the app.tsx, and here I will just import the home home screen component, right? So just type home in the angle brackets and click enter, right? So once you enter it, automatically it get imported. Okay, so if you see, so our home component is imported from the screen slash home, and close the tag and save it. In our home.tsx file we have this just written home. If you go back to our application, here you will see the home, correct? So let's go to the home, and inside this div, right, I will remove this one, and let's implement the add the header component. Okay, so what we did inside the app.txs, we add the home, and inside the home we added the header. And if I save it, in header we have this header text, correct? And if you go back here, you will see this header text. So this is how we can import this component inside the component, and that's why React is much more popular. Okay, it's similar to Angular if you know the Angular, but if you don't know, we don't have problem, because I will teach everything from the scratch. Okay, so you know how can you import the component inside the component, right? That's the reason we are using this type of file structuring and not writing code in all this in the same file, right? Okay, if you see the Hulu application, the background is a black in blackish color, right? And it's kind of a dark mode only. So let's go back to our application. In the index.css file, let's go to this body, right? We already have this body tag, so just paste this background color, okay, which is this 1E2126, which is a hex code, and I will mention the height 100 vertical height for now. Okay, we will change it later if needed. Then go to the app.css file. We have this hash root function, root style. Just remove this one, we don't want it. And if you go back to our application now, you will see the background, black background, and the header text here, right? So right now its color is dark, so it's not visible, but our text is here. Okay, so now in assets folder, create one folder called images, and inside that just I added this Hulu logo. Okay, so paste that Hulu logo in image folder. Then let's go to the header.tsx file where we will write our header section components code. If you see, I already have created this menu list, okay, which contain the list of objects, which I mentioned ID and the name only. Okay, so the one which we are showing, the home, TV, movies, so these all I kept in a one constant call menu, and this is how I stored. So this menu we are using to iterate and so that we can repeatedly show it on the screen. So let's start designing. So first we will add the logo. So here you can just type image source. Okay, now in order to display any data, the dynamically data, right, so you have to display in the curly braces. Right now we have our files, the logo in a image asset folder, right? So you have to import that first, so let's import it. So just type import logo, and from where you want to import, so you have to give the path. Okay, so in this case it's assets folder, then images folder, and then the logo.png file name. Okay, and that logo you can add it here. Okay, and save it. If you save it, you will see, let's go back to our application, you will see this logo. Okay, let's give some styling and let's reduce the height. So give the class name of so I will give the class. Okay, so here we will use the style Tailwind Css. So I will give the width. Now Tailwind already have some width defined, right? And if you see, if I select the width -5, it means the 20 pixel width, right? But if you want to give the custom width, so you have to give it the square bracket, and then you have to define the width. Okay, so in this case 65 pixel, and save it. If I did it right, so we'll see this logo. Okay, now let's iterate this list of menu. So I will define a UL tag, and inside that I will iterate the menu. Okay, so let's write in a single curly braces, let's menu dot map, where we will map it, right? So this is the arrow function we are using, and that's need to be there every time when you are iterating something and you want to show it repetitive time, right? That's the reason we have to show like this. So let's define item, and we define the arrow function. So inside this one, let's define the li tag, and inside that I will display the item. So in the curly braces, just mention item dot name, and if I save it, let's go back our application, you will see this menu. Okay, so right now it's in black color, so let's give some styling to this one. So for this li tag, let's apply some class name, and here we will give the text of gray color. So if I write the text, and you will see this bunch of gray color with some code, right? So in this case I will give 400, and I will give some text size like 18 pixel, which is custom one. Okay, and I will change the font. I will make it medium bold. So I will write font medium. If I hover on it, you will see this CSS property called font weight column 500, and I will make it pointer to be cursor. Okay, and let's see how it looks. And if you see, right, it's showing like this. Now if you go back here, you will see this the animation, the background effect on hover change, right, and lot of things. So let's implement that one. So now what we want, on hover we want to change the background, and we want to change the text color as well. So on hover, okay, so we have to write like this, on hover. So whatever the property you want to make, right, we want to add it. So in this case I will write bg background color to be like 700. Okay, and also on hover again I want to make the text to be white, and let's save it. Let's see how it looks. So on hover you will see this background is changing and the text color changes to white. Okay, it's working. Now let's give some actual padding and border everything. So I will give the padding on x-axis to be 3, then padding on bottom to be 2, and padding y on to be 1. Okay, and also make the the corner to be rounded medium size. Okay, if I hover on the 8, we'll see the medium size is nothing but the 6 pixel. Okay, and in order to do the smooth transition, right, the animation need to be smooth. So I will write transition all, then we make how much duration you want for that animation. So let's say 500, and the type of animation so is in out. Okay, and save it. If I go back here, you will see this animation, right? Now let's bring everything in one line. So first give some uh, class name and we say flex. Okay, and for this one as well, uh, let's give flex. So let's say everything will come in one line, right? Give some gap between this menu. So in this UL tag, right, just write gap of, for example, I will write it and save it. If you go back here, it's working, right? Now another thing, on the right hand side we have search and this account icon, right? So after this UL tag I will add div tag, right? Now this is search icon, right? So in order to use the icons, we have this official React icons library. So if you go to this website, you will see this dependency. Okay, so just copy this command and paste it in your project terminal and install it. I already installed it, that's why I'm not installing again. So it's very easy to use. So you will see on the left hand side, you will see the bunch of different icons. Select the icons which you want. So in this case I will use this ioni icons, right? Make sure once you done with the installation of the React icons and the one which you want to use, copy this line of code. You have to import that particular icon type, right? So icon library means I will add this one, and you have to replace this icon name, the one which you are using the icon. For example, in this case I will use this search icon. So let's say IO search, right, and replace this icon name with the IO search. Next, in order to use it, it's very simple. You have to use it as a tag, and that's all, right? And then you can give some class name. Let's see how it looks. So if you see, you will see this icon, right? It is in black color, so give some style. So for this one, right, let's say also in order to give class, so this icon act as a text only. So whatever the property you give to text, you can give it to this icon as well. So in this case I will write 35 pixel, and I will write text gray 300. Then on hover we'll change the background, but let's see how it looks first. You see, now on hover we want to change the background. So background gray to be 700, and we'll give some padding. I will give custom padding on bottom to be 2 pixel, and padding y to be again 2 pixel. Okay, 2 pixels. So let's see how it looks. You see, perfect. Now I will make the corner to be rounded. So rounded to be full, because I not full but the medium one. Okay, and same we have to, on hover we have to change the text color. So text to be white, and we have to add the transition all and is in out. So I will copy this line of code and paste it here. Okay, and save it. Let's go back here, and on hover we'll see this effect, right? Make it cursor pointer. Perfect. Right? And now if you see, we have this account icon, right? So we can make it. So after this, just write in s2 tag, and in this case R I will give, and let's apply some style sheet. So I will give padding X to be 10 pixel, then text to be 20 pixel, then I will make text of gray color and the code is 300. Let's give some border of 2 pixel, and we'll change the border to be white, and then rounded to be full. We want full rounded the circle, right? That's the reason I mentioned like this, and if you see, it's coming like this. Perfect. Now let's bring everything in one line. Okay, so first we'll say class name to be flex, so it will be in one line. And now to this parent div, just say justify between. Okay, and then we have to do item center, so vertically it will come in the center as well. And if you see, perfect, right? On a hover we're getting this effect, we are getting this menu, so it's very close to each other. So let's give some gap. So I will give some gap here to this div, right? So gap of 10 for example, and if you see, perfect. Now if you see, we have some padding from top and from the x-axis as well, right? So let's go here and give some padding from all size 4 and on padding X to be 10, and let's save it. Let's look how it looks. Perfect. So the way we want, it's displaying like this, right? Perfect. So now if you see this application, right, and if I decrease the size, you will see this on the smaller screen, this menu is get changed, right? And we are getting this drop down kind of thing, and when I increase the size, the menu is coming back. So now we will implement that feature. Now in order to make this menu responsive, we have to make some changes. Say let's go back to our code, and here, right, when the screen size is smaller, and then we have to hide this menu. Okay, so for this you will write here in this tag, ul tag, you have to define hidden initially. Okay, when the screen size is smaller, and when the screen size is medium or larger, you define like this. Okay, so if screen size is medium, you have to show flex. It's not a medium size or is smaller than medium size, then we will hide this menu bar. Okay, and if I save it, and let's see, so if I decrease the screen size, and you see it's gone, right? And if I reach the breakpoint of medium, right, it's showing me on the screen, and if you see, perfect. So that's what we want. Next, we have to add another menu, okay, in order to display it. So here we will add one menu called div. Okay, and this div menu again, when the screen size is medium, then we have to hide it, because only when the screen size is smaller, then only we have to display, otherwise we have to hide it. That's the reason I set it medium as a hidden. Okay, inside that I will mention the h2 tag. Okay, so if you see, this is kind of let me decrease the size, and this is kind of text or button, and on click of we are showing this one, right? So here on h2 tag, right, we will add the on click method later on, but first we will add some text. For example, in this case is home, correct, and give some styling to this one. So I already have some styling which is similar to the above one. Okay, so I will paste it here, and it's similar to this one, so I will not explain this one, and let's save it and let's see how it looks. So let's go back to our application, and if you see, it's looking like this, correct? Same thing, you have to add the arrow, the downward arrow, right? And depends on the condition, you have to switch it, correct? So here I will use the inbuilt hook to save my data, right? So for example, let's see, I will create one uh, constant here, and which will be a toggle, and I will make set toggle. So here use state I will use this is the inbuilt react hook which we are using to set some variables value. Okay, so this toggle hold the value and the set toggle used to set the value for this toggle. So initially I will set it as a false and save it. Okay, so okay, so after this, right, we want this kind of icon, this downward icon, right? So let's go back to our react icon, and here we will search that icon. So let's go down little bit. I don't know where it is. We have to search it. It's hard to find. Let me search it like this. Oh, sorry, right? So okay, so this one, right? I showed a down outline. Okay, so let's copy this one and let's paste it here. Okay, and then you can apply some styling to this one. Okay, so I will just add the uh, class name. Just to wait. Okay, so make sure you will import this one. Okay, so import this and then you can mention the class name, and I will just give you margin from the top little bit, and let's go back to our application and you will see that change. So it's coming down, right? So make sure you will add that in the h2 tag. Okay, so copy this one inside h2 you have to add it, and let's go back and you will see it's coming, correct? Now on click you have to change it, right? But before that we have to add up arrow as well. Okay, so let's see. If I let's go back to this application, and if I click it, it's changed, right? Up arrow, down arrow, correct? So there are two way we can do that. You can rotate that one or you can use another icon. Okay, so in this example we'll use another icon actually. So let's take this example outline and paste it here like this. Okay, apply the same class name. Okay, and save it. Make sure you will import this one and save. Now let's go back to our application, and you see it's showing, right? Now we have to hide it, depends on the condition, correct? So in order to apply is if types of condition, right, I will wrap this in a curly braces. I will say if toggle is on, right? If toggle is sorry it's I will initially say toggle is not on, right? Then we will show this down arrow, otherwise we will show up arrow. Okay, so this is condition. If toggle is on, then we will show this icon. Okay, otherwise we will use this icon. So this is a simple ternary operator. Okay, so if you know any other language that we learn the ternary operator, you can easily understand this concept and save it. Now let's go back here. You will see only down arrow. If I change this value to true, right, and save it, let's go back here. We'll see up arrow. Perfect. Okay, so this is what we want. Now we have to implement this menu, correct? So in same, right, here I will again add the toggle condition, and only when if toggle is on I will show this menu, otherwise I will show nothing. That's why I kept the null value, right? So whatever I mention on the toggle on, we will show it in the UL, correct? So it's very straightforward. First you have to iterate the list of the menu. Okay, so in the same way, the way we iterated before, right? In same way you can iterate it. So I will just copy paste the above code, and I little bit change this styling, not too much, just little bit. Okay, the main thing, if I save it and let's go back here, if you did not see anything because right now this value is false. Let's click it to true, and if you see, you're able to see this one, right? Now main thing, you have to make it the this kind of thing, right? Above this any of these things, so you have to make this div to be absolute. Okay, so make it absolute. I think okay, yeah. So not this one, actually you have to make only the list to be absolute, right? So if you come back here, and here you have to make it absolute. Okay. And in order to, if you see, right, in order to put it in the center, now everything go up, and in order to let's give background first, and then we will add other style. Okay. काय ग? हा मी रेकॉर्ड करतोय थांब. No, you say absolute, right? And here you can give background gray, and I will say 700. Okay. And let's see how it looks. So this is how it looks, right? So here, right, we will give some width. So I will give some width, let's say 200 pixel, and I will mark it all the text to be in the center. Okay. And let's give some margin from the top, so we have some gap, so we'll give some margin, and if you see, it looks better now. Also, we want this in the center like this, right? If you see, it's coming in the center. So in order to do that, you have to mark it in the center. You have to give left as a 0, right as a 0, then you have to say margin auto. Oops, sorry, you have to set the margin as well, margin left, sorry, because we are doing the left and right, so margin auto, and the margin right as well as auto. Okay. And if I save it, let's see, if you see, it's coming in the center now. Also, we make the round corner to be rounded medium size, and let's save everything, and let's padding X if needed, and if you see, everything is working fine now. Okay. You can decrease, if you don't want this padding, you can remove it. It's up to you how you want it. If you remove the padding, it will look like this. Otherwise, you can give some padding, not much, like 3 maybe, and if you see, it's similar to this one, correct? Now I kept padding little smaller, it's up to you how you want. Okay. But now it's looking good, right? Now we have to add the on click function, right? Because we have on the click of it, we want to hide it, right? So to this icon, okay, you have to make it like, or not icon, you can make to the div, this h2 tag to all together, right? So you have to just write on click event. So we have a lot of events which React provided, right? On can play, on change, or something like that. For we want on change, on click. So on click that button, use the arrow function, and we will set the toggle to be opposite of the existing one. Okay, like this. So if the toggle is true, we will make it false. If toggle is false, we will make it true, and with the help of set toggle, right? And this is the which I already explained how we can set and the value for this toggle variable. With the help of set toggle, we will set the value. Okay. And if I set the value, let's save it, let's go back here. If I click on it, it's going back. If I click on it, coming back. You see? Okay. Perfect. And if I increase the size, it will hide it, correct? If I decrease size, it will come up. If you see, right, it increase size, decrease size. If you want to see menu, it will show it on the screen. Perfect. And mobile view, it will look like this only, and very responsive and easily accessible. Okay. Perfect. So we pretty much completed the header section. Okay. Now we will look next this hero section. Okay, showing this big intro slider, not slider, but image and this text and everything. Okay, so let's do that. Now in order to display the list of movies with images and everything details, right, we are using the moviedb database.org. So if you go to this site, the moviedb.org, you will find all the movie. Okay, so this site provide all API for all the latest movie with all the details and everything. Just log into this one, and then on the setting side, you will see the API section where you will find this API for your account. So that API you have to use, and this is the example how you will get the response. So let's show me. So I copy this one, I paste it here, and you will see this, right? So this is the first movie, which is title is Fight Club. So you will get the overview of that one. The poster path you will get it, right? The production company's logo, along with the production country, the release date, the runtime, means the revenue, how much it generated, the spoken language, the language they use, and everything. The genre of this one, like it's coming in drama, thriller, and comedy. So like this, you will get everything, okay? And there are a lot of different option or API endpoints where you can use it. For example, if you go to this developers.themoviedb.org, and in the movie section, okay, you will see the at least for example, get popular movie, get top rated movie which is playing right now, which is the latest one, okay, and you can try it and test it. So this API we are using in our database, in our sorry in our application. So let's go back to our VS Code, and here in a source folder we will create one more folder called uh, services, okay, and inside these services we'll create one file called global API dot tsx, okay, and save it. So here we are using this Axios in order to fetch the data. Okay, if you don't know about X iOS means Axios, you can go it. So this help you to fetch the data from any HTTP client. Okay, kind of thing. So I will tell you how to define it. So first, let's define one constant, and we can call base URL. Okay, and inside this base URL, I will put this base URL, okay. So for example, let's put we want movie, right? So we'll put the movie, and or you can just, let's say, base URL, movie base URL, we'll call movie base URL, okay, which is the API moviedb.org/3 movie, okay, and how much movie you want, so it will return the count and everything, okay. And this is the API key, so I will write API key in different constant. So mostly API key we written in the .environment folder, but for this demo I will keep it here for the simplicity purpose, okay. So just define the API key as a string, okay, and let's remove this one, and that's all, okay. Make sure you define the constant and everything as it is, right? And now in order to fetch the data, right, as I say, you have to use the Axios, okay. So let's say get popular movies, okay. We are creating this API, and you can write Axios. If Axios is not there, right, you have to install it, that dependency. So let's go here and find Axios npm. So select this one, and it's taking time to load. So if you see, this is the HTTP client for the browser and the Node.js. So copy this one and run in your terminal. So let me open my terminal, and here I will paste this one, okay, and run it. And whenever you install new dependency in a Vite application, it's installed quite fast, okay. Now Axios is there. Now let's try to import it, and if you see, you will get the bunch of options here. So let's import, and you will see this import statement, correct. Now let's say get, and here you will see this different type of option, okay. So we want to fetch the data, right? So let's say um, the first base URL, and then you have to mention the endpoint, right? So let's take in this example. So in this case, I want the popular movie, so this is the endpoint, right? So the slash popular. Okay, so let's say slash popular, and then define the API key at the end. So API key, okay. And then you have to export this one so that we can use in other components. So just like export, and let's default, and let's say get popular movies. Okay, that's all. And now whatever components you want to access this particular API endpoint, you can access it. Okay, so I hope you understand how we can use or write this API in XUS in order to fetch the data. Next, we will fetch the data in order to display in a console, and from there we will start designing the hero section. Now, let's create one file called hero section where we will display this section. Okay, so let's go back to our VS Code, and in the component we'll create one file called hero.txx. Okay, and we will add the default template. So now we have hero section, right? Let's add it in our screen home. So here I will add the hero, okay, and save it. Now let's go back to our application, and then you will see this hero world written over here, correct? So now in the hero section we will fetch some popular movies, and randomly we will show image and text everything, okay, regarding the movie. So let's go back to hero. Here let's understand how can we fetch the data, right now we store uh, our API in global API.tsx, correct? So what I will do, I will create one method called get popular movies, okay, and in order to define this type of method, you have to write like this, okay, and then we will use the arrow function, okay, like this. Inside that, let's assign one variable called result, which is equal to global API, which is our service. And once you do this global API, it will import it. Make sure you will import this global API. Then you have option to get popular movies, okay, and that's all. But here, right, we have to fetch the data, right? Then you have to mention like this date, and in then we have response. Oh, sorry. So here we write response, and then after we get the response, right, we will store the result in a result variable. So here you can manipulate the data if you want, or if not, we can keep as it is. Okay, okay, actually we will store like this, not here, constant result is equal to response. Okay, if you see this API response, right, then our all this list, right, we have stored in result list of array, right? And if you see, we have a lot of pages, but we store in the result. So what you have to do, just type response dot results, okay, and if you go back here, yeah, it's same response dot results. Okay, we got the error that property does not exist on type, the particular type, right? So let's try to give like any type, right, because we are using TypeScript, and that's the reason we give like this response of type any and result it. And what we will do, we will consolidate this result. Okay, now this method is we did never call anywhere, right? In order to call this method, we will use inbuilt hook called use effect. I will explain what is use effect. Okay, so whenever the particular component load, right, this use effect will run. Okay, if I define like this, it will run every time. Okay, but in order to execute only once when the component load, we have to define the empty array. Okay, otherwise it keep loading. And whenever you want to execute this component, when some variable change, then you can mention that variable here. And if you put it empty, then only once when you load the component it will get executed. So we want to execute only once, so you have to define like this, and this just call this method over here. Okay, and then only once when component load it will execute this piece of code. Okay, and let's save it. Let's go back to our application and right click on inspect panel, go to the console, and we'll see some error. Okay, so right now we are getting undefined in the 13th line number, which is this one. Okay, so let's remove this one and let's see what we are getting. Okay, if I click on response, right, we are getting this much information: the config, the data, header, request, right? Inside the data, because of we are using Axios, right, it return all this information, and inside the data we have all actual information that we want from the API, correct? So we have to access with the response dot data dot results and save it, and then you will get only the, if you come down you will get only list of uh, sorry, we will get only the list of movies. Okay, so we'll see the movie title, the video, sorry, the poster, the original title, the overview means the description kind of thing, and general id as well. Okay, so you understand how to fetch the data. Now you have to somewhere you have to store it, right, so that we can use it uh, in this component. So we define one constant where we will use the use state if use effect as we use as a for a toggling the menu, right? Same way we will define here. So I will say uh, movie list and comma, we'll say set movie list. Okay, to set the list of movie, and you state initially by default I will pass it as a empty, and here we'll remove this console. You just need to set the movie list using the set movie list and the result. Okay, that's all. Okay, so now in our movie list contains the list of all the movies. Okay, and nothing will display on the screen right now because we did not consolidate anything. Okay, I hope you understand this one, how we can fetch the data. If you don't understand anything, then please comment in the comment section, or you can DM me on the Instagram, and please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, okay, so let's start designing the hero section now. So here we have list of result, right, and which we save in a movie list. So right now we just want the one movie information. That's why I kept I'm just fetching the zeroth element, that is the first movie item. Okay, and not the everything. Now let's start to implement the hero section here. First I will add the image. Okay, so in order to access the image from the movie list, just type movie list dot, and let's go back here in the properties, and you will see this original title. Okay, oh, not original title, my bad. So we want the poster path, correct? But before that, right, this URL is just, it's not a complete URL. It's just the file name. Okay, so I mentioned the base URL for the image, for our image. So let's write image base URL, and this is the base URL. Okay, so let's write that image base URL. Okay, plus we want movie list dot, and we will use this uh, the backdrop. Do you find backdrop? Okay, this backdrop path. Okay, this is a high quality image, so backdrop path like this. But we are getting error because right now our this movie list and set movie list use state, we don't have any type for this one, right? So because we are using TypeScript, we have to define some type. So for this one I will use any type. So even though it's string integer, it will consider, okay, because that's the reason we use any. And if you see here, now the error is gone, okay. Also here let's define some width. So I will define width. So this is a image property from where we can directly define, okay. And height, we define 1080, which is standard one, okay, and save it. If you go back here in our application, you will see this first element, which is the avatars movie, right? If I change this one, right, to something else, for example 1, and save it, and if you refresh, we'll see this one, okay. So so because we are fetching that particular element. So here the image, we will give some define height, okay. So here we will give the height of 85 vertical height. Now if you see here, it will give the height, but our image is getting stretch, okay, it's getting shrink actually. So just write object to be cover, and if you see, now it's look perfect, okay. Next we want to add the text and everything, right? So create another div here, and inside this div we will add the h2 tag, and we will say watch only on Hulu, okay. So if you see this application, this something is written, right, new on Hulu, and the text and these buttons, okay. So that's why I write watch only on Hulu. And then next tag we will add the title of this particular movie, okay. So I will write movie list dot, and if you see this API response of the movie database, the title we can get it from this field name called original title. So write original title and save it. And if you go back here in our application, you will see here, right, it's coming at the top. So we'll update that later. And then we want two buttons, right? So in div I will write button, and the first one is, let's see what is first one, is play and details, play, and second is details, okay. So all the content which we want is on the screen now. Now let's apply some styling. So for this one I will clear the class name, and I will make it absolute so that it will be on image, okay. So if you see, it's on image now. Oops, okay. And let's give some styling to this text. So let's give class name, and I will make text to be white and text size to be 19 pixel, okay. And if you see, it look good. Then when this text size I giving when the screen size is medium or smaller, but we can give the for the space the size for the specific screen as well. So for the last screen we can give size to size like 20 pixel, 27 pixel. When the screen is bigger, the text size will increase, okay. So this kind of thing we can mention. That's why Tailwind is much more easier and easy to write the styling. Next let's give styling for this title, movie title. So to give the class name, and in that one we will give the text to be white. Then we will set the text size to be 36 pixel when the screen size is smaller or medium, and for larger screen we will increase the size. So we will give the 47 pixel, and I will make the font to be bold in this case, okay. And let's save it, let's see how it looks. And if you see, it's look good, right? You can I don't know, but we have extra bold option as well, right, to make it more bold, okay. It's up to you how bold and how you want it. So I will keep as a bold only, and then give some styling to this button. So right now give class name and flex, and I will give gap of 5, and I will give also margin from top as a 5. And if you see, it's look good. Okay, now we want to use some padding, some margin, okay, in order to bring it on the bottom left corner. Okay, so to this div, right, along with the absolute, we give margin top to 400 pixel when the screen size is smaller, but when screen size is a medium, I will give margin to 350 pixel. Also I will give margin on x-axis, sorry, on margin on x-axis to be 10, and when screen size is medium, I will give margin to 24 pixel. Okay, or not a custom one, I will give the inbuilt Tailwind Css one. Okay, so 24 pixels, and if you look now, it's look pretty good, right? So if you come here and here, right, it's look good. If I decrease the screen size, right, and it's change the layout automatically, and that's how we want it. Correct. Now in details, we want the button little different. If you see, right, the corners and everything, so let's change that one. The rounded corner is too much rounded, so you can change that one as well. So right now let's go here in button, and you see you can first you can make that background to be transparent. Okay, once you make background to be transparent directly, it will show like this. Okay, nothing will be there, and then you can make a border of 2 width, and then you can make a border color to be white. Okay, and also we want text to be white, and the cursor pointer here, and on so let's see how it looks. It's look perfect on a hover, right? It's right now it's blue color, so I will change hover to border gray 500, I will choose, and that's all I think. And if you see here, perfect, both looks good, and this one as well, right? So if you want to use the radius corner to be smaller, you can just add that one, but I will keep as it is. Now next, if you go here, right, if we have gradient effect from the bottom, you see, right? So in order to add that, I will add one div here. Okay, this is very simple way to add that one, and I will define the class name, and first I will give the height of 85 vertical height, though same similar to the image. Okay, and then in Tailwind CSS we have gradient class. Okay, so if you go in the Tailwind CSS documentation, you will see how you can gradient do the gradient. Okay, implement the gradient, the background gradient, so that you can do that here. So it's very simple, so just do background gradient you want, right? So just gradient, and from where you want it, from bottom, from top. Okay, so in this case I will say I want background gradient to top. Okay, from color you have to mention, so I have the from color here. Okay, so I will mention from, and the color code. Okay guys, this is custom color code which is similar to this our background color, and then you can mention from to the end color, right? So end color I want to be a transparent. Okay, also I will give the width full width. Okay, and if you go here, let's go to our application, you don't see anything. You see it's coming down, the structure is completely mismatched. Correct. So that, okay, so the reason is we mentioned this div to in this data div, so we don't want to move it to the upper one, and let's see how it looks now. So something is not correct, so because we want it make it absolute, so you have to make this div as an absolute one. Okay, absolute, and let's see how it looks now. Okay, yeah, now you see gradient is coming, but it's too dark and half of the image is in a gradient actually. So in gradient, right, I this gradient start, we have to give from color and to color, but you can add some color in between, like via through which color you have to reach to the end color kind of thing. So via, I will again say transparent, and then you will see this difference. Okay, you see, perfect. And even though if you change the screen size, the gradient effect will automatically take the responsive, and also the text size you will see it's changing, right? Perfect. So you understand this, I hope you understand this one, right? Now next thing, if you observe, right, this text this header is also transparent, okay, and this image is showing in, and also have a gradient effect. Okay, so let's do that one. Now let's go back to our uh, code and a header section, right? We have this header here. You have to define you have to apply some classes. So here you can just do background. You have to first write absolute, because you want on top of this image, right? And if you make the absolute, you will see this um, header, right, like this. Right now width is not full, that's why it's showing like this. So let's do the width to be full, and let's save it, and see, it's working. But for this header we have to give the background to be gradient, right? So just write background gradient, and we want, in this case we want from top to bottom, so just write to bottom. The gradient effect, the I will use the similar code which we are using, and I will use the to transparent. Okay, like this, and save it. And if you see like this, it's coming perfect. Okay, so it's transparent color and it's perfectly working, similar to this one. You can add more gradient, darkness, and everything is up to you how you want to show. But for now, I think this is best, and I hope you understand this header section and this hero section as well. Okay, next, the interesting thing is how can we display this list of data. Okay, so next we will show this list of data. So now we will design these sliders. Okay, if you see on a hover, we are getting this border, and also we are getting some animations. Okay, and if you see, we have action, adventure, animation, and lot of things, correct? But with the minimal coding, we will achieve this particular uh, UI. Okay, so let's go back to our VS Code. Here I made some update already, so it's very small update. If you go to the service, here I added one API call, which is a get movie by genre ID. I'm passing the ID for that one. Okay, and this is the endpoint for that one. I created the base URL for to get a movie for the selected genre, and I'm passing this ID. And then I just exported this particular API call endpoint. Okay, so that we can access it anywhere in the components. Also, I created one folder called constant, and in that I put this all the genres list with the ID. So it's a list of object. Okay, in order to display it on the screen, because this particular ID and the name of the genre is from the movie database API only. Okay, and I just exported that one, so I can use anywhere. Okay, then if you go to this index.css, I added this background color. I'm not sure whether I inform out this or not, but I added this background color as well. Okay, now let's go to the component folder, and we'll create another folder, sorry, another file called genera movie list dot typescript. Okay. And here add the default template. Go to the home and make sure you'll add that one. Genera movie list. and save everything. Let's go back to our application, and if you see, this movie name is coming up here. Okay, the general movie list, so it's coming very upside, so we'll give some margin. We'll remove this one. Okay, now we will add the general list here. Okay, so here general list, so if you see, right, it is importing from the constant dot general list, that what we wanted, and map it to item. So this is arrow function which we already did it, right? And here I will define the name of the genera, right? So if you see this application, so we have this list of genera, action, adventure, that's what we want to display. Okay, so let's go back here again and just type item dot name. Okay, and save it. So we have to define here item of type any for now. So general list, okay, inside that we have genera. So we might like, oops, map like this. Okay, and genera, and if you go back here, you will see the list of genera. It is in different color, but we will change the color now. So just define the give some class, the style, so class name. So in this case I will write text to be white and text of size 27 pixel, and I will say font to be bold. Okay, and save it, and if you see now, you will see this. Okay, perfect. So if you see this one, right, so this is how it looks. Okay, we can change the size, it's little bit bigger, so I will change to 23. Go back here, and I think this is okay. Okay, then after that, if you see, right, we have this view all as well, right? So we will update that one, view all. So let's go back here, and inside the h2 tag we will add one span tag. Oops. And inside the span tag we will say view all. Okay, and also I will add the one icon. Okay, so I will just add this icon, and make sure you'll import that one, and we also give some style to this one. So let's say class name, text to be white, and also we give some margin left to, sorry, margin left to 1. Okay, and save it, and if you see and go back here, let's go to our application, it will show like this view all, right? So let's give some style to this view all. So I will write class name, and we'll change the font first to a normal, because right now it's bold, right? And then we'll change the text size to 16 pixel, then cursor to be pointer, and we change the text color to gray 400. Okay, and also I want it on the right side, right? So just write float right in order to put it in the right side, and let's see how it looks now. And if you see, it's coming like this. It's weird, right? so so to do this one, right, we add flex, and if you see, right, and then you can write justify end. Let's see how it looks. Oh, not look good. So we need to do some modification here, right? let's see how it looks. So right now we are seeing view all. Okay, first thing we have to do flex here because everything will come in the line, and then we added this float, right? I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, perfect, it's working now. Okay. So if you see, this was what we wanted, correct? Now inside for all of this category we want to add this list of movies, right? So for now what I will do, I just want some of the genera to display. So just write index is less than equal to 4, and all, so this condition what it will do, it will only iterate until a 4, right? If you see, only 4 genera will display here. Okay, now if you see it's going upside, right? So we'll give some margin from the top. So you can give margin here, or you can go home and you can give the margin at this place as well, but in this case I will add margin top to 10 for example, and let's see how it looks. So we want more margin. We will give 20. Okay, and if you see, now it look good. And if I decrease the size, right, if I decrease the size of this one, still it's work good, right? If you think it's you want more margin, you can give more margin, right? That's okay, right? Yeah, it's opening by default, right? Because um, in the header section this stage is true by default, so we make it false, and now it will not open. Okay, perfect. Now what we, the next step we want to do is to add this movie list, right? Also make sure you will give padding from all the sides. So let's give some padding. So let's go generate movie list, and here um, you will give padding from 10 first, and give padding x to 10. When it's medium, then we'll give more padding. Okay, and let's see how it looks now. Perfect. Okay, now let's do the let's show this movie list. Okay, now next let's create another component. Okay, so we will call that a genre movie list. Oh sorry, not genre movie list, we will call a movie list. Okay, so movie list dot TypeScript. Okay, and here add the default template. Okay, and what you have to do, we have to add it here. Okay, because in movie list we will actually pass the id into this component general id, and from that we can fetch the list of movies. Okay, so let's go back here and add it. It's movie list. Okay, and only thing that you have to do, you have to pass the genera id. Okay, but if you see whatever, so we are getting action and movie list. Okay, action movie list. So let's pass the genera id. Id is equal to item dot id. Okay, and make sure you will add the genera id. So go to the movie list, and here you have to add the genera id, and it should be a number. Okay, now the interesting thing here, right, we have to now iterate that, we have to pass that movie genera id to the API. So we have to give the API call here. So this genera id contains of object. Okay, so if you want to access, you have to access with genera id dot genera id. Okay, so let's first write a function method to get the movie list by genera id. Okay, and it will be arrow function, and you can access this from global API dot. If you see, we have get movie by genera id, and just we need to pass genera id here, genera id dot genre id. Okay, um, and then we have then response dot then response of type any. I will mention here. Okay, so if you see we are getting error that property general id does not exist on type number. So right now give the any because we did not define any interface for now. Okay, and once we have this information, you can console the response. Okay, so in Axios, as you know, response is in the data dot data object, right? So just type response dot data, and inside that we have results. But let me show you what is in the data. Okay, and let's save everything. Let's go back here, right click on it, go to the inspect panel, and in console you might get just ignore this error. Okay, so we have some error issue here. Okay, so we did never call this get movie list by channel id, so add it in the use effect. Okay, and we want to run only once, so like this we have to add it. And if see we get this all this list of results, right? So our movie list in the result array. So let's type like result and you will get the information. Okay. Now first define some constant so that we can store all this result in it. So define constant, and then you have to write movie list, and in order to set that movie list you can do using this set movie list. Okay. And this use state, and initialize by pass empty and make sure the type is any for now. And here we will set the movie list. So response dot data dot results, that's all. Okay, so right now with this code and logic in our movie list we'll get this all the movie list by genre. Okay, okay, now next what we have to do, we have to iterate this movie list, correct? So let's um, do this movie list dot map, right, and give the arrow function, and make sure the item of type any. Okay, so inside this now we have to add the movie list, a list of movie. If you see here I can just display the name of movie, original title, and save it. If you go back here, right, we'll getting the list of movies, right? Now it's getting, we are getting a lot of list of movies, 20, right? So I will limit it. So just add index, type number or any, or that's fine, and index is greater than 7 and n. So I will only get the first 6 movie list, you see. Okay, perfect. Now we are getting this title, we are iterating successfully, right? But for this particular card, right, so this card design, right, we will add in different component. Okay, so that anywhere else also we can use it. So create another component file called movie card.tsx. Okay, add the default template, and here you just need to define this, you can define in view, that's fine. So just write movie card. Okay, import that one and save it. Right, now you will see this movie card everywhere. Let me remove this one, movie card, you see. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to pass the each item. Okay, and each item is nothing but a single movie. Okay, so I will say just movie and just add the item here, and then you have to add the movie over here and write type of any for now. Okay, Now we have the movie. Okay, now we have to display it in the card format. Okay, so let's define div, and inside the div we'll add the image source, which is equal to, so here we have to give the base URL. Okay, so define this base URL. We already did it, right? So same base URL we will use it, and then we have to define the image base URL plus uh, we have to define this backdrop path, right? So just write movie dot movie, because this is object. Inside that object we have a field name called movie, and then we have this backdrop path. So here you can say props as well. Okay, but to differentiate, if I used multiple props, that's the reason to differentiate it, I gave the specific name. Okay, and here you can give some uh, just add the class name. So in this case, right, we want a horizontal scrolling, so I will add class name, and inside that give width of 230 pixel, and if the screen size is medium, I will increase the width to be 370 pixel. Okay, and let's see how it looks. So save everything, and if you go back, you will get the list of movie. Okay, so for adventure, for an animation. Okay, but right now it's coming vertical, that's fine, we will do it horizontally. Next, we will this object to be cover. Okay, and the corner to be rounded to be 2 XL, and that's all for now. Okay, because we want to, so if you see, we are getting rounded corner and everything. Okay, next we want to put it in a horizontal way, right? So to this div, right, you can give it the class name, and here so here we don't need to do a lot of things, because on this just we are showing the card, right? And just write inline block uh, to make it a horizontal, obviously, and give some margin to 2, and if it's medium we have to give margin to 3. Okay, and you can make cursor pointer if you want to click on it. Okay, and if you go back here, it will not affect anything, but we'll see this margin and everything. Okay, next I will change this size little bit, it's too big I think. Okay, yeah, now let's go back our movie list. Okay, where we generate this one, correct? So here we will add some classes to do this horizontal scrolling. So just add the class name, and first assign width to be full, and say overflow uh, to be scroll. Okay, and after that just write scrolls to be smooth, we want smooth scrolling, and let's see how it looks now. Okay, so we get the scroller, but it's not coming horizontal, right? So also add one more uh, class property called overflow x, and auto. Okay, let's see whether we change anything. So we did not change anything in this one, right? So I'm just making sure everything's correct. So width full, we have x auto, then overflow x will be scrolling, and we have scroll to be smooth, and also we have to define white space no wrap. Okay, and let's save it, let's check, right? So something is still not correctly. Oh, so the thing is, right, I did it, so we have to apply this div actually outside of this one. Okay, because otherwise it's iterating each of this element, right? And that's the reason. And if you see now, we are getting this scroll bar. Okay, and this images and everything. Okay, we will hide this scroll bar in some moment, but let's add other things on the screen, like this name of the movie and everything. Okay, so let's go to the movie card, and here let's add the title of the movie. Okay, h2 tag, and inside that we'll write the title of the movie. So movie dot, and we have original title. Okay, and if you go here, you'll see this movie name, right, is coming in black color. So give some class styling to this one. So write class name, and inside that we'll give the text to be white. Then margin top I will give 1. Give the transition all if you have doing some animation or something like that, right? And you give, if the uh, screen size is medium, right, or larger, we'll give the font size of 22 pixel. And if you see, right, let's see what we are getting. So if you see, we are getting the list of name and everything. Okay, perfect. Now we also want one more thing, right? Watch movie, start watching, watch movie, start watching, right? It's coming alternate, correct? So very interesting thing. Let's type h2, and inside this one, right, we want add one condition. So if movie.id mod 2 is equal to 0, so if value is 1, that will this condition will not valid, and it go to the else condition, correct? And here I will mention like this: watch movie, otherwise show this text, start watching. Okay, very straightforward condition, and give some class name as well. So here I will give the text gray 400, then margin top to 2. I will give the text size to 12 pixel, and when the screen size is medium, I will give the text of 17 pixel. Okay, and let's make some font to be bold. Okay, and save it. And if you go back here, we'll see this text, right? Perfect. Okay, now the another important thing is to remove this scroll bar, right? So just type search on Google Tailwind Css hide scroll bar npm, right? So there is a one command line which we need to install it. So if you see this npm I tailwind css, just copy this one. Okay, and run this one. I will explain it how it works. Okay, so if you go back to this site, right, if you see we have scroll, and after using of this we don't have any more scroll, correct? And this is how you need to use. First, once it install, make sure in tailwind.config.js you will add this plugin. Okay, so go back here. I already added this one here, right? Tailwind-config in tailwind.config.js file. Okay, and the only way that you can use, right, is easy, that you just need to write the scroll bar hide. So here, go back our movie list, and here you have to just write scroll bar hide. If I save it, go back to application, and you will see no scroll bar at all. See, perfect. Okay, now let's give some padding from the top and bottom. Okay, so I will say, so if you are here, right, so here just write margin bottom to be, for example, 5. Let's see how it looks, right? Let's give some more. Okay, let's see, perfect. If you want to give margin, you can. Okay, to make more spacious, it's up to you. So let's give margin bottom to be 16, and if you see now it's looking good, right? Perfect, like this only. And now we want to give some animation as well. If you see, right, we have this kind of animation on a hover. Yeah, we are adding the border, and also if you see the text font is also getting changed, right? So in order to do that, right, let's go to the movie card, and on the top of the div, right, on a hover of everything need to be we have to add in an animation thing, right? So here you have to define first as a group, okay? And to this class, what we'll do, on hover we'll add the border of 2, okay? And then uh, we will add the 5 pixel actually. We want border, and then we will add the border color as well, right? So I will say border gray 400, and we will do the, let's see how it looks first. If I hover on it, right, we are getting the border, okay? So I will add some padding too, and then I will add some animation to do the smooth animation, right? So transition, then I will add the duration, and animation is in out. You can add animation how you want it, it up to you. And now if I hover on it, I'm getting it, right? Also I want to change this one, the text as well, right? So also as I told, right, the hover we use, so use that hover method, or also you can do the like group hover effect, okay? Now here as well, group hover, and we want to text size to be bold. And if you go back here now, if I hover on it, right, if it's not changing, let's remove this one. Oh sorry, not here, this font bold. And if I hover on it, you see font also getting changed. So similar to the this one, okay? So I hope you understand everything until this point. If you have a question, you can drop in a comment or directly message me on Instagram, okay? Now next thing, what we have to do, we have to give some uh, if you see this, right, we have this button in order to move this left and right, correct? And that's particular feature we can give it now. Now we're done with this movie listing, okay? But on the screen we need some buttons in order to scroll left and right, okay? And if you see, uh, for each of this movie list slider, we have the button events where it can help us to move left and right, okay? So I'm going to tell you the most easiest way to do it, okay? So let's go back to our application. First add two buttons, okay? So with the help of React icons, I will add this button, okay? Make sure you will import it. And another button I will add on the right hand side, right? So make sure you will add it outside of this div like this. Make sure you will import it and save it. Let's go back and see whether it's added or not. So this is our application, and let me check whether I saved it or not. Okay, so in the movie list I added. Okay, let's see whether it's, well, actually it's not visible. If you see it's here but it's not visible, let's change, give some styling so it will be visible. So write class name, and we'll say text of 40 pixel, okay? And then I will make this color white, but the background to be black, and I will give some padding to it, okay? Make cursor pointer, and let's see whether we are able to see it or not, okay? So let's go back here again, and if it's coming, right? This is in square format, so in order to make it round, just make it round. Oh, sorry, round to be full. Okay. And it will be rounded now. Okay. If you see, it's coming. So both this one and the right hand side, we have to do the same styling. So just copy this class and paste it for this icon. Okay, and save it, and you will see both the icons now on this side. But we want this icon, one is on the left and another is on the right. So to this parent div, we'll use the flex. Okay, and once we did it, the flex will come one on the left, another is on the right hand side, right? Now we want vertically to be center, so just write item to be in the center, and then it will come in the center. Okay, you see. Now we will give some padding from the bottom to this icon, so it will be in the center of this text. Okay, so it's up to you. If you go to the Hulu application, right, let's let it load, and if you see, it's in the uh, middle, right? It's not, so it depends actually how you want, right? So but in this case it is in center of this image, so in the same way we'll do it. So in order to do that, right, just give some for this icon, just give some bottom margin, and same way we can give it this one, and if you go back, it will be in the center. Okay, right now it's not clickable. Okay, we have to add some event. So second thing, we want to know which button we click, right? So this for this button for this slider, or this one, right, or this one. So in order to get to know, we will use the inbuilt to call use reference. So let's define one constant here, the element reference, which is equal to use reference. Okay, so this is a React inbuilt hook, so it will pass us the reference of this particular element, right? And in this class name, okay, you need to define the reference. Okay, so just define reference is equal to, and you have to pass the element reference. Okay, um, make sure, oops, it will be a reference equal to, so like this. Okay, I don't know why we are getting error. So the reason that we are getting this reference equal to element reference, that we are getting error, right, because we have to define the default value to this. So I will pass it as a null, and if you see, the error is gone now. Okay, now next we will add the on click method to this one, and let's add on click. Okay, and here we will pass on click method. So first we will define one method called constant slide right. Okay, and this is arrow function. We will pass the element okay, as a parameter, and right now I will use the type of any. And here what you have to do, make sure you will pass it here, right, as a arrow function, sorry, arrow functions, and you have to pass the element reference dot current one. Okay, so current element reference, you pass it here. Let me bring this down. Now next, once you are in this method, right, it's very easy to access how you are gonna implement, right? So what we have to do to selected element, right? When you click on it, the selected element, you want to scroll right, correct? So just type scroll, oh, sorry, so you want to scroll left, but you have to add some value. So just write like scroll left and plus is equal to 500. Okay. So it will scroll left plus it will add this 500 pixel value. Okay. Same you have to do for the left slide. Okay, so just type slide left and you have to do minus in this case. Okay. And make sure you also implement this particular on click method to this back online. Okay. And if you go back to the application now, okay, and let's try it. If you see it's scrolling, correct? If I want to scroll back, it's not working, right? Because we added the scroll right, okay? So it need to be on left actually. Okay. Go back now and click on it, scrolling back. Okay. Now if you try to this one as well, right, it will work. Okay. Because of the current reference, right, which we use, it helps to detect which slider and which element, which click event happen, right? You see, perfect. So I hope you understand this arrow function as well, right? Now this is challenge for you. Now if you go back, right, you will not see any arrow on the left hand side until and unless I click on it, right? You see. So the challenge is you have to implement that particular functionality. If I click on it, it will change. You see. So yeah, do it and let me know in the comment section. Now another thing, this arrow, right, these buttons are on the left hand side. It's not overlapping on this image, similar to this Hulu application, right? If you see on the Hulu application, it's above this particular image, right? So it's very easy, just need to give the margin in the minus, right? So go here, so go to an application and here, right, to the div you can say margin left minus 10 pixel for example, and if you see it's not affecting a lot, you minus 15, right? You see it's coming, so minus 15 is a lot, so it's 0 30. Now this is okay, right? But actually, but it's going back to this image, right? So we want to increase the cherry index for this one, so let's just give the cherry index to be like 10, and similar we'll give the cherry index to this one, right? So it will be on the top of the everything. Okay. And if I save it now, if you go back, you'll see the effect change, right? It's coming up above on it, right? Same thing you have to do it, only thing instead of margin left, right, we'll do the margin right, and in this case I don't think so we need more, just minus 20 pixel, and if you see we'll do it 40, let's do it 40. Oh wait, also my bad. So actually we know we want to give here only, not anywhere. So margin right and minus 20 pixel. Let's try this one, and if you see it's working, correct, on this side as well and on this side as well. So let's make it 20 for this one as well, and you can see perfect, and for this one as well. And I hope you understand this particular tutorial. Okay, um, so let's try this one, and the way that I told you how can we move the slide on button is very easy way, so just try it. Okay, so guys, one more thing, we can I updated in our project, when you refresh this page, right, this hero section is get changed. If you see, right, if I change it now, it's changed to some other one. Okay, if I change it, okay, clear, refresh it, it changed every time. Okay, so it's very easy to implement, right? If you remember, I set movie list, we added the default to 0. Okay, so it fetching the first movie from the list of the movies, right? So here I just added this random number, so it will the from the math dot random, it generate the random number. Okay, the maximum size is 10, so it generated from 0 to 10, and it passing to this result, and depends on that it's fetching. So it's very easy and very um, quick to do, right? And if you see the result in front of you, perfect. And yeah, everything is there, so you can try it and let me know. So our application is almost ready. I made some couple of changes that you can do it as a your challenge. Okay, so if you see, I'm on home page, and obviously when I is active, it changed the color. Okay, so let me show you how I did it, and you can try it. So let's go to our header. Okay, and inside this header I added this condition. When the id is 1, right, the item id means the menu is of id 1, then I am changing this background color and the text size. Okay, now the challenge is when I click on this movie, right, or tv, I need to switch it to another this active button need to be display, right, with the background effect and everything. So that's your challenge. Next also, if I decrease the screen size, if you see, right, that button is went away because on mobile you don't need it, right, and that's the reason I disable the button when it's a bigger, a smaller screen, and when the screen size increase, this button will comes again. Okay, perfect. So these couple of tweaks I made it. You can try it. This is your challenge, guys, and I hope you'll learn a lot of things in React, Tailwind CSS, and in Vite. Okay. Now now we want, okay, so now we want to deploy this application to some server. Okay, so these two video I already uploaded, published on my channel. You can go and watch how to do it, but right now also we will do how to publish and deploy this application. Okay, so first go to the GitHub, and if you don't have an account, create a new account, then create a new repository. If you are using the GitLab, that's also similar. Okay, so either GitHub or GitLab, you can use it. It's completely free. Then you just type Hulu clone with app. I will give this name, and you can write description if you want. I will make it public for now. Okay, and just say create repository. So it will create a repository for you. Now what you have to do, you have to just copy this line of command. Okay, so you have to set the remote repository to this repository, right, and open the terminal. Okay, then go to terminal, new terminal. uh, so here first initialize the git. Okay, if you don't have git initialize in this project folder, just type git init. Okay, let's go back here and paste it. Sorry, so just we need the git remote, this one, and add the repository. So this git remote origin is added. Now in order to push this all your changes to the GitLab, just type git add dot, so it will add all the elements. Okay, and if you see these changes, you will see this uh, the changes are committed, so it calls state change. Okay, and then just type git commit, sorry, git commit, and give the message. Okay, then we'll see hulu clone publish published version 1, for example, and enter. So all the changes will commit it, right, and then oops, then git push. Okay, so sometimes it will give error, so that time if you are pushing the first time, right, execute with this particular line of command. So do like this, and then it will take just a millisecond to push all your changes now. Okay, and if you see, if you go to your repository, refresh this repository page, and you will see this changes, right? So source folder, and you see just now I published it, right, with the command hulu clone publish version 1, right? So it contains all the things. Okay, now our code is in GitHub now, right? Now let's go to vercel.com. So if you don't have account in Vercel, you can create one, or you can use Netlify as well. Okay, but in this case we will use Vercel. Now just go here and add new and click project. Okay, here you have to connect your repository with the GitHub if you are using GitHub, or GitLab if you are using GitLab. So depends on what the repository you are using. Just connect it. Okay, once it connected, you will see this name, right? Your project name will be here, Hulu clone with app, and you will see the symbol of it. Just click import. Okay, and it will give the project name, so you can give the project name whatever you want. So I will keep it uh, Hulu clone with app as my project name. Okay, so this will be your URL. So URL will be like Hulu clone dot vercel dot app. This will be your URL. Okay, and then just click on deploy. Okay, very fast and very easiest way to deploy the application. The reason that we use the Vite, right, because it also used to deploy application much faster, and as I say, right, build the application and creating the application is much faster. Now within less than 10 to 12 seconds our application get deployed. Okay, and here as well you will see this beautiful animation of that we deployed, and this preview of your application. Okay, if I click on it, so you will see the application, and you see the name app.vercel.app, correct? And you will see this all application is live now. Okay, so this was taking time because it's too much large image, but you see, perfect. Now another challenge that you have, that you need to every time when you refresh it, just make sure you change this particular intro hero page image movie. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, you can do it. So we also successfully deploy our application. Perfect. So guys, I hope you understand this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy this watching all this complete video, and you want to uh, know or learn more about this type of cloning of different popular website. Let me know in the comment section. And if you have any question, any doubts, or you like this video and you want to message me, you can follow on me on Instagram as a TubeGuruji, and you can DM me directly on there, or you can mail me anytime, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you comment on this video, then I will reply immediately. Okay, also if you did not subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel, because I'm a new on a YouTube channel and I need your support. So please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.